Okay everyone, welcome back to Mike's Yoga channel and welcome to this Upper Body Yin Yoga for Bodybuilders. When you're ready, roll your mat, grab some water, and let's get started. Okay everyone, so let's begin coming into a lion's pose. So let's bring our knees as wide as the mat, letting the big toes touch behind you here. And then from here, we're going to start to warm up our wrists. So let's place our hands out in front of us and we'll take turns turning our wrist around. So let's start with our right wrist and turning this right hand around so our fingers are pointing towards us. And maybe you shift forward, kind of rock back and forth a little bit. You should definitely feel this in your right wrist, your right forearm. And come back to your breath here. Try and find some stillness. If this is just too intense for you, obviously you can just turn your hand back around. We'll take about 5 or 6 breaths here. And on your next exhale, slowly, mindfully release. And we'll take it over to the other side. So turning this left hand backwards so our left fingers are pointing towards us. Really breathing into this left forearm, the left wrist. Again, we'll take about 5 or 6 breaths. And on your next exhale, slowly, mindfully release. From here, we'll simply make our way into a child's pose. So start to extend your hands out long. You can let the forehead rest in the mat. And whenever I practice yin yoga, I love to practice a 6 and 6 breath. So if you've watched some of my videos before, you should be familiar with this. But if you're not, basically a 6 and 6 breath is just inhaling for 6 seconds and exhaling for 6 seconds. So I find breathing this way just really helps me relax and ground down. It's very meditative as well. Let's take one more breath here. And on our next exhale, let's simply just shift forward. And from here, we'll come into a Sphinx pose. So coming onto our stomachs, bringing the forearms out in front of you, letting the elbows rest right underneath the shoulders. Breathing into the back body here. Feel free to close your eyes. Let's take one more breath. And exhale, slowly, mindfully release. From here, we'll make our way up into a downward facing dog. So take your time getting there. Feel free to pedal out the feet. And then from here, let's lower the knees down and we'll come into a thread the needle pose. So to get here, let's stack our hands right underneath our shoulders, keeping the fingers spread wide and stacking the knees right underneath the hips, tops of the feet, pushing into the mat here as well. And let's bring our left hand into the center of our mat and let's reach our right hand up like we're pulling a bow and arrow back. And then on your next exhale, thread this right arm underneath the left, bringing the right shoulder, right ear to the mat. And we'll hang out here for about 10 breaths. Also an option here to walk your left hand out long in front of you. take one more breath here. And exhale, slowly, mindfully release, come back to center. We'll take it over to the other side. So when you're ready, let's plant this right hand in the center of the mat and reach that left arm up. Exhale, thread the left arm underneath the right, bringing the left shoulder, left ear to the mat. Again, option to walk that right hand out long in front of you. Let's take one more breath here. And exhale, slowly, mindfully release. From here, let's make our way onto our backs. Take your time getting there. And then once you do get there, let's hug our knees into our chest and wrap your arms around, giving yourselves a nice big hug. Feel free to rock side to side, massaging the spine. And now from here, we'll come into a supine twist. So let's start by extending our left leg long, keeping this right knee hugged in. And then from here, let's slowly, mindfully guide this right knee over to the left. Your right arm can come into a T or a cactus. And in this pose, really try to make sure both shoulders are firmly rooted in the mat. So if your right shoulder is coming up off the mat, see if you can just dial it back just a little bit. Keep both shoulders firmly rooted here. As always, make sure to breathe. Let's take one more breath. And exhale, slowly, mindfully release, come back to center, and we'll take it over to the other side. So extending the right leg long, hugging this left knee back into our chest, and then from here, guiding that left knee over to the right. Your left arm can come into a T or a cactus. And again, make sure to keep both shoulders firmly rooted in the mat here. So if your left shoulder is coming up off the mat, just see if you can dial it back just a little bit. Let's take one more breath here. And exhale, slowly release, come back to center. From here, we'll come into our final pose, Shavasana. So extending both of the legs out long, extending the arms out long, taking up some space. Again, feel free to close your eyes. Letting your body reap all the benefits of today's practice. I encourage you to stay here for as long as you like, or if you're ready to go, we can rock up into a seated position of your choice. And that wraps up our practice today. Thank you all so much for sharing your time and your energy with me today. If you haven't already, be sure to like and subscribe. From here, let's bring our hands up to our third eye. The light in me honors the light in all of you. Thank you so much. Namaste.